In my second video about integration or antiderivatives, we're going to talk about what's called the power rule for integration. So you can see that I have two examples. I actually have a third as well, but they're all x's to powers. Okay, so the question is, how do we integrate something or find the antiderivative if I have x to a power? So here's our rule. Our rule is whatever our exponent is, which here is the letter n, but this could be a 2, a 5, a -6, whatever that exponent is, we're going to add 1 to the exponent and then divide by that new exponent. And then, of course, plus c. When I learned this almost 30 years ago, my teacher said, integration has a guide. Add a 1 and then divide. It worked. It stuck in my head. So what that little rhyme is saying is for the power rule, integration has a guide. Add a 1, so add a 1 to the exponent, and then divide by that same exponent. Okay, so let's try it with our example. So the first one is the integral of x to the third. So this originally came from the function, let's see, add a 1, so 3 plus 1 is 4, divide by that 4. And then plus c. Okay, what I love about integration is that you can actually check your work. If I took the derivative of x to the fourth over 4, that 4 would come down, cancel with this 4 on the bottom, I'd have x cubed and only x cubed. And that's what I started off with. So we know that we're right. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's try this one. All right, now this one only has an exponent of 1. Okay. So when I do my little rhyme of integration has a guide, add a 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Add a 1 and then divide. Plus c. And again, if you take the derivative of x squared over 2, you're going to have that 2 come down, cancel with the 2 on the bottom, and just have the x, which is what we want. Okay, well, what if I had the square root of x? Well, the square root of x, we know, is the same thing as x to the 1/2. We can still use our rule, but it gets a little bit messier. So x to the 1/2 plus 1 over 1/2 plus 1. Okay, so 1/2 plus 1 is 1/2 plus 2/2, which is 3/2. So this will be x to the 3/2. Okay, on the bottom, whatever this exponent is what's on the bottom. But if you think about it, fractions on the bottom, you would actually divide by 3/2, meaning you'd multiply by the reciprocal. So what happens is this is going to flip up. So what I would get is 2/3 x to the 3/2, and then, of course, plus c. All right, cool. All right, let's do one more, this time with a negative exponent. So if I had 1 over x to the 5th. Okay. So here, you wouldn't want to just do the power rule down on the bottom. We don't do the power rule just on the bottom when we're taking derivatives. So the same is true here. So I'm going to keep my integral symbol for a second because I am not integrating yet. Okay. I'm just going to rewrite this as x to the -5. All right, let's do it. Integration has a guide. Add a 1 and then divide. Okay. So -5 plus 1 is -4. So I'm going to get x to the -4 divided by -4 plus c. If you wanted to rewrite this, that x to the -4 would come down, and what I'd end up with is 1 over 4x to the 4, but that negative is still out there, plus c. All right, good luck. That's our first rule.